So this is the reality of building the bus. So I have my saws and stuff outside, and so I go inside and outside every cut, right? That way I don't make a big giant mess inside the bus. But I seem to misplace my measuring tape. It's like I need 3 measuring tapes. And I've gone in and out of the bus like 3 times now trying to find my measuring tape. And I don't know where it is. I found it. It's up here. Who put it up there? Who did that?
Welcome to our channel, RV the Bus.
All right, everybody, another day. So what we have going on right now is I've gone ahead and made the trim panels. Now, nothing, it's all loose, right? Nothing's put on there yet because we got to do a lot of sanding. But I made the trim panels. Sorry, I just kind of out of breath. I just went up and down the hill like 3 times. Okay, so we made the trim panels for that. Made trim panels for that. That trim panel up there is all nice and glued in and screwed. We've gone ahead and added some more bracing inside of here for the side of the closet so that this panel right here is also nice and sturdy. We've reinforced the back there. Inside of here, so in the back of the bus is the motor. So what we're going to do, now I can't put anything on the front of this box here because we need to get into this box. So what I was originally thinking is to kind of make the framing go like this and then curve back and insulate that. So that way, like, this whole back area is nice and insulated. But I can't do that. So, sorry, I had a long night. So I can't do that. So I think what we'll do is we'll get some of that like a peel and stick type butyl-ish rubber, because there's really no reason to get into this box. I don't need the box to be accessible. I know that there's a cover up here, but that's just an air filter, right? Like, we're never going to need to do that. But this guy down here, definitely, that's like the top of the motor. That's important. So what I'm going to do is, in the effort of trying to make this as quiet as possible, is I think I'm going to stuff some insulation in here. I'm going to insulate these back pockets, insulate this back area, and this back little cubby down in here. I'm going to put some insulation in there. And then inside of our closet, I'll put a back piece here, and then we'll insulate, and insulate back in here. And that way everything hopefully should be nice and quiet back here. So underneath this panel here, we have tons of spray foam, so that's quiet. So hopefully once we put all the insulation in here and get this all kind of squared away, this area should be nice and quiet. So that's what I'm working on. All right, just a end of the weekend recap. So no, I haven't been filming much. I was here all by myself today, this weekend, and just wanted to take the opportunity without the kids and anything like that. You know, I can kind of just go at my own pace, which is pretty much nonstop. Pretty much been having lunch at like 3 o'clock and dinner at midnight. Last night I went and got pizza around midnight, so we got some more thermofiber fire and sound guards, so we've been putting that in the back of the bus. We also have some regular old R13. I've been using the R13 just because the back of the bus is not square, it's kind of rounded, and it compresses really well. So the thermofiber is really dense and works really good, but I've also been using some of the foam board here. So we have some 1-inch foam down and under the bus. Not really much has changed in the front area. Or as in the bathroom, I made some trim pieces. We're going to do that stick-on tile stuff here in the center. We have to have that one piece to cover our nails or our screws in the furring strips and the plywood. It's kind of a weird thing. So like, we're doing this wainscoting effect with the trim, but it doesn't really play very nicely with cabinets. So as you can see here, like when the trim is going to be up against the wall, so you can kind of imagine, right? Like we're gonna caulk this across so that way the water can't get down in behind there. But we have a 1/2 inch gap, so I think what I'm gonna have to do is cut another one of these guys and put it right here, and that way we have a nice tight edge. We'll caulk that as well. We'll also caulk this side, and that way no water gets in behind the walls and causes any problems. We're gonna do, like, once these guys are nice and tight against the wall here, so you can see, like, once they're pressed up, they get nice and tight. But we'll also put some sealant there, some paintable caulking, and make it all nice and, you know, perfect. Because, you know, the plywood and the wainscoting, or the plywood and the furring strips and the bus, nothing is perfect, and so we kind of have a little bit of waviness. So the sealant or silicone, paintable silicone, will mask all of that. Started looking at our drawers for our drawer faces. Also kind of thinking about back in there is the air intake, and then we have one air out over there. I went and bought some registers here. So these are 4x8. These will go right about here, and those will sit nice in that little pocket. And we basically have some space to put a duct that'll go to the intake and one on the other side. And so we'll have one over there. So we'll have two 4x8s. So that'll be a 4x16 intake, which matches, actually is a little bit bigger than the intake in the floor. So that way we're not going to get any, you know, turbulence or sucking noises, because that thing moves some air. So we're not choking down our air inlet, making it basically suck. We want it to flow, because otherwise we'll get noise. Back in here is where I did most of the work. So I did our trim panels for the bed on this side too. And the big thing is put in the wood on that side. We've got wood on this side. We've got wood on the bottom, or the bottom of that. So the inset right there is all nice and framed in. I've got to bring my brad nailer in. We'll put trim, and we'll trim all that out, and that way you can't see any of those screw holes. Also brad nail the face of that. I'll brad nail the faces for those, and as well as all of the other trim in here is going to get brad nailed on. So that'll be exciting. But the big thing that we did this weekend was our closet. So as you can see, we've got a lot of fiberglass tucked in there, the whole back wall. So we have a lot of extra thin plywood, because just the nature of the bus where the split was, right? We needed 2 sheets, so we split it down the middle. So there's a line at like 32 inches all the way down the bus. So off of a 4-foot sheet, we had these strips. And so what I was able to do is I was able to cut these at, like, you know, 21 inches or so, the widest that I could get them. That way we get rid of all of this extra. But don't worry about the seams and whatnot. We are going to cedar plank the inside of our closet here. So we just need something for that to adhere to, and for the brad nails to stick into. But this whole thing inside of here will all be lined with cedar. So we saw that when we were touring some of the very high-end coaches and RVs, and we thought it was a really cool idea. And after looking into cedar closets, they're pretty cool. So it helps with the moisture in your clothes and smells, and you don't get bugs all over your clothes. That'll be good, because, you know, when we're out here, let's say we have the window open and we make a fire and that goes in the bus, you know, we don't want our clothes to smell like that. So just a little touch. So that's the bulk of it that I got done this weekend. One of the things I'm looking into is if you can kind of see the curve of the bus. And so what we're going to do is we have these wide planks here, And these boards are essentially going to be put here. Let me hold this and kind of zoom out so you can kind of see. So we're going to put wide ones over the window openings, and that way we're making a little pocket, and that little pocket will have the blinds. So it'll kind of be a little channel for the blinds to sit in, and that way they don't rattle around, and they stay nice. So it's a nice trim, and it's also functional. The problem is the bus is round. And so what I need to do is I need to cut all of my window trim pieces. So these are cut down, came out to about 6 inches. So I need to cut a bunch of boards to 6 inches. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 2x4 flat with a 2x4, a little piece on this end and a little piece on this end, and kind of, it's like a channel. And I'm gonna put my boards, because they're all the same height, right? So 1, 2, there's like 10 of them I need to do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2x4, make a little U, put the board across, and then I'm gonna clamp it and put a bend into all of them. And then I'll leave them for about a week, and hopefully that should leave a nice bend in the wood, and that way I'm not pulling on it. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to get it onto here, and then I'll put some screws in. I'll have to cover in the screw holes, and then magically we're going to like hit a bump, and all the little window things are just going to rip out because they're held on with screws and glue. So I want to put some bends into these boards, clamp them all up, leave them for the week, come out the next weekend, take the clamps off. So once they have a curve, it'll help me assemble them onto the bus. And that way I'm not fighting. I'm not using the screws to pull them into the curve. They're already bent. So thanks for watching this week. I know it wasn't a lot of like in progress shots. Again, I was here by myself and I'm just trying to crank this out. We have started reserving spots for a trip in July. So only gives us, I think it was 15 weeks a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to treat it as 10 weeks to get this bus done. You're gonna see a lot of progress in a little bit of time, and we'll try and keep up with the videos as much as possible. We have started purchasing everything. We should have our air conditioning units in, so we need to we'll have to take these doors off. We'll have to get a metal skin. We'll get rivets, we'll get sealant, we'll paint those, and we'll introduce the hole, the square hole that will fit the two 15,500 BTU air conditioning units. So we'll get those in the holes. So we have one in the front, one in the back. We're not sure if we're going to do another one in the middle. Again, the middle would be for the bathroom. I don't know if I necessarily need an air conditioner in the bathroom. I think it'll be cooled enough. We'll have a fan in there, but we are full force. We've bought two chairs, and then we also bought a couch, but unfortunately the couch didn't really work. So Dana's been putting some marks on the floor here. So we're thinking our cabinets will end at this line, which will give us a small, maybe like 3 foot gap there, 2.5 feet. And then the couch that she had picked out went to these corners, and then when pulled out, went to that line, or that little orange mark right there. Then our chairs on the other side, because the thing is when the couch pulls out, we can't have it interfere with the chairs. The chairs, we don't want them to be loose on the bus. The chairs that we got have a nice thick base of it's got metal on it, and so we are going to through bolt those into the floor and into the frame. So those chairs will be nice and sturdy. Same with our couch. We're looking for couches that have a very shallow depth, are decently high, and we're looking for something with a frame that we can reinforce and bolt into the bus. We're going to have to, there's that channel in underneath, so I've measured out the channel. I know where the channel is, and I'll be able to hit the channel and we're going to be putting our seat belts for both the chairs and the couch into that rail that is welded to the frame of the bus. So we're not putting it just through floor and through plywood. We are going to have our seat belts and our couch bolted down into that channel. They will be super secure because in the event that something bad were to happen, we don't want this stuff flying around the bus and attacking us, right? Like, yeah, we're using glues and screws and whatever. The refrigerator, I will be going in from underneath, and we will be through bolting the refrigerator. We'll be putting some brackets onto the walls that will basically click onto. So we'll kind of have to pick it up and put it and clip onto those. So you can see there's this nice double rail right in the middle of the fridge. So we're going to be utilizing that. We're going to put a threaded bolt with a bracket that'll hold the top of the fridge. And then from underneath in the bays, I'm gonna drill a hole, and I'm going to be through bolting the base of that down. All the cabinets will be bolted into the floor and into the wall. Everything in here in this bus will be nice and secure. The toilet gets bolted down to the flange. This vanity will be bolted in. I don't think anything in here is going anywhere, and definitely nothing back here is going anywhere. You know, the thought in building this is, you know, I know everybody likes to use the plywood and the pocket holes and all that stuff, but this is not going anywhere. Everything in here is sturdy. So, you know, same with our walls here. So we're trying to keep it as light as possible. That's why we're using the skins for the plywood. We're using the 3/4 where we need the strength. We're using the 2x4 where we want the strength. You know, the bed, you know, I'm 6'2". I'm not gonna lie, I weigh 200 pounds. The wife, she's less. So, you know, that's 300 pounds in the middle of this bed. We want it to be nice and secure. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you listening to me talk about our bus and our progress. And I hope some of you who are watching this, who are doing your bus, you know, I watch all of your videos and get just as much information and ideas from everybody. And I hope that some of you who are maybe starting your project and have found our channel get some information from us and some ideas. Thanks for watching. Smash that like and subscribe. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe.